Well, more elite athletes have been wading into the controversial debate on whether transgender competitors should be able to compete in women's sport.
Some transgender athletes say that calls to keep them out of the competition amount to hate speech. But those leading the campaign deny they're being transphobic, insisting that they want to protect the sport.
Oh my god, how could you? That is just when you have little Isabel here trying to deadlift 200 pounds, these two big old who's a woman athlete trying to deadlift the combined weight of at least 20 horses put together. I don't know about you guys, but that's completely fair. Absolute hate speech. And I'm absolutely appalled if you think otherwise. How dare you?
I like to say that the bike doesn't care about what gender you were assigned at birth. The bike doesn't judge you.
Oh my god, alright, I've heard it all now. The bike doesn't judge you. Okay, what a great analogy that is. So I can just sit here and be really racist or something and upload it to YouTube because the microphone doesn't judge me. What are you waffling on about, mate? It's like a professional boxer being like, yeah, I could take steroids because these gloves will never judge me. Epic analogy that is.
Rachel McKinnon is getting set to compete in one of her first races of the season. Cheer on some of the local cyclists.
Rachel McKinnon winding up now.
No one appears too concerned with McKinnon during her time trial, but in the past she's found herself at the center of a political firestorm.
So, of course, this was eventually going to come around to my channel. We're talking about it today. Transgender people being in sports, which many people really seem to have a problem with, and not surprisingly. And if you're one of those people that don't, and you think, well, it's not unfair, and how dare you say it is? Oh my god, what absolute hate speech. Oh my god, I'm appalled. Okay then, take a look at this.
She's transgender, and last year she won a world championship for her age group, racing against women.
McKinnon takes it into world champion, oh Canada.
And of course she's Canadian as well. Just the cherry on top. Isn't it like, it's illegal, isn't it, to have hate speech there or something nowadays? AKA free speech. No wonder stuff like this is allowed, because you're not even allowed to talk against it. Oh Canada.
McKinnon takes it into world champion.
Exactly. She won. Of course she did. This is literally like playing video games with cheats. It's the same with other sports as well, like fighting or UFC. If you literally have a biological man against women, well, like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Of course he's gonna win. And unfortunately for me, and many people included, this is definitely where these types of situations do end up completely crossing the line, if you get the pun.
Against women.
I know, hilarious. But then you also have the case of other women, / men even, who don't see a problem with this. And in today's video, we're just going to take a look at some of those people and maybe just dig into their logic in this.
The world championship win was a little historic. And it's completely surreal that I'm that person. Like, I'm just some girl from Victoria, BC, who just wanted to race her bike.
McKinnon, I think you're missing a vital detail there. Out on your little speech. Hey, my name's McKinnon, and my life is pretty crazy. I'm just your typical girl from BC who likes to ride my bike. No problem. Oh, by the way, I was a man before, and my muscles are much bigger than a woman's, which makes me stronger, faster, and some say, word on the street, maybe a little bit better at this sport than women. But the bike doesn't judge me. At this point, this video kind of like just writes itself. I feel like the commentary is kind of unneeded, but I'd also get demonetized from YouTube again, so I need to add in my 2 cents. How can somebody be so naive to not see other people's points of views on this? It blows my mind, mate.
Normally, the win would have attracted very little media attention, but not this time.
A Canadian transgender athlete is facing a backlash after winning the Cycling World Championship. Rachel McKinnon, who was born male...
She says the reaction online was overwhelming.
A lot of support, but good goddess, the amount of backlash was a new level for me.
Yes, guys. Good goddess. Whew, that famous saying we all know. Even turned that saying into a transgender. Okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, really, can you actually be that surprised though? Of course not. If you were generally born a man and now you're competing with other women, it's totally unfair. It's like, say for example, I don't know, men's ballet or something, right? Where you'd have to be really flexible. If suddenly a transgender man who was born a woman was in that, the same things completely apply. It gives the person taking part a complete advantage on the others. I think most people can just generally see that. And for saying that this is hate speech, well, okay, whatever. It's clearly not though, is it? Trying to shoot you down and say you're a horrible person. At the end of the day, we're just saying it's a little bit unfair, which is just called logic, not hate speech. There's definitely a difference.
I estimate it was about 3,000 to 1 negative and generally very hateful comments to positive ones.
McKinnon is a fiercely outspoken transgender activist and academic.
Jesus Christ, right, completely delete the video. Right, I'm not making a topic on this woman. She's going to come to England and beat me up. If anything I've said in this video doesn't get through to you, surely that short clip of her deadlifting like 20 horses combined should say more than 1,000... Angry Samsung should say more than 1,000 words. Now try and tell me and sit there in the comments saying how this is fair. I dare you.
Become a central part of the roiling debate around rules, rights, and biology in elite sport. At issue just how to include trans women in competition.
My God, it's not like it's rocket science or anything, is it? I'm a 23-year-old man, and in the time of watching this video, I believe I figured it out. Why don't you just make a whole competition where it's nobody else but trans women and men? That way you're not stepping on the toes of any other sort of commission when it comes to sports, and everybody's happy. It's a pretty simple and easy solution. Look, if you're transgender and you want to be proud, that's great. Go make your own sport and everyone can be happy for you, have your own medals, have your own wins and losses, and then it's not interfering with other people's sports, especially like in this case when it is clearly undeniably unfair. I mean, look, they clearly do okay with the Paralympics having it like that. And I'm pretty sure they would be outraged if suddenly in the wheelchair basketball you just chucked in a man there that had legs while playing the game and then trying to say, oh, well, he's allowed to because he identifies as legless. Right. And then when there was suddenly an uproar about that, everyone just said that was hate speech. Okay, look, if they can do it, then I'm sure they can make another one for transgender people. I mean, look, even Joe Rogan's talked about this topic many times on his podcast. Just listen to what he has to say.
I tell you, I support all the trans rights and everyone doing all this stuff. The only thing that I ever go like, that doesn't seem right, is with athletics.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing where I feel like, it's not that I don't feel like someone should be able to play any sport and compete, but like when a dude transitions to becoming a woman, it's like, I play basketball now. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You have the right to live your life and play, but like, you have all those skills that you developed as a man, and now you're playing against frailer, smaller,
Yeah.
like that. To say that like you can't bring that up, that's offensive, is ridiculous to me.
Women get put on they get put in a less protected category than transgender women.
Right.
So a man becomes a more protected class of woman.
Yeah.
Than a natural born woman herself.
That's very interesting.
It's crazy.
That is.
To say that's crazy is definitely one way to put it. Insane is also another. And like, look again, we're not saying that this is a horrible thing and how dare they, but look, at the end of the day, quite clearly, mate, somebody very soon is going to get seriously hurt, especially when it's to do with fighting and UFC, especially when you have a man who was born a man and is now a woman who's 6'2" fighting a 5'4" woman. Bruh, how can you not say that's not dangerous? But it's okay because the gloves don't judge me. Alright.
The idea that we need to protect women's or female sport from other women and females is itself inherently discriminatory. No testosterone policy will ever work. They should respect an athlete's legally recognized sex or gender.
Isn't that like the whole reason why we have different categories in the first place anyway? In this logic and at this point, you might as well just have everyone fighting everyone and everyone competing against everyone. And if you say no, then that's just absolute hate speech. How dare you unsubscribe right now? But it really is though, isn't it? I mean, these rules and regulations are put there for a good reason, and they have been for a long time. And who are we now to go and completely change those rules and regulations to just not hurt some people's feelings? Really? Is that what we're really becoming nowadays? Is that really how low we're sloping, to not offend people? Because if that's the case, then that's extremely sad.
Before, if a transgender athlete wanted to compete in the Olympics, they had to have sex reassignment surgery, but those rules changed in 2016. They now focus on testosterone levels. There are no restrictions if someone transitions to a man, but if they transition to a woman, they need to take hormone therapy for at least a year in order to be eligible to compete.
Look, to be quite honest with you, I think everyone's making this so much more complicated than it really needs to be. I say just go with the idea that I had earlier, in which transgender people actually just have their own division in their own sport category, where no one has to take anything, any weird hormones or anything like that, where they can just be themselves and cycle happily, where the bike won't judge them, or box or deadlift or weight or anything. Because to be quite honest with you, that would make things just a whole lot easier. And with that all being said, boys and girls, that's it of today's video. We've come to the end, mate. I don't think I could bear to listen to this anymore. But if you did enjoy today's video and you agree with the things I said, make sure to hit that like button, as it always is really appreciated, and it helps me out a lot. Also, make sure to come and follow me on all my social medias, especially Twitch and Discord, as I'm live streaming on Twitch these days, and Discord if you want to come and join me on some of those streams as well. Anyway, boys and girls, I'll see you all in the next video.